I'd say pretty poor, to be honest with you. I'd gone from very active, doing regular Spartan races, and basically just because of work, I'd started to spend a lot more time sort of immobile, just sat behind a desk. Coming home from work, the usual motivation to go out and do a run had gone. I'd stopped doing my sort of weekend park runs. So essentially I'd put on weight, I was eating more, I just couldn't be bothered to go out and do anything, and I sort of got myself into a bit of a vicious circle, really. I just felt really low, really down, and everything just seemed to be, not working the way that I wanted to. I was prone to injury, I was getting ill quite a lot, which hadn't happened before. I just thought, no, this is not how I want to be. I think when my partner sort of went from cajoling to actually stating that if I didn't get things sorted out, it was going to start having an effect on the relationship, physically and mentally. So for me, I realised that there was no good time, there was no, the work wasn't getting any easier, I wasn't going to get myself more time. So it was either I work with somebody who's going to push me and, talk me through this, otherwise, it would start having an effect on our future relationships. My partner and I's relationship definitely have suffered. I think, there's illness in my family. It's, there's hereditary things like diabetes, generally sort of being overweight, and I could see myself, I'd always sort of said to myself, I'm never going to be that like that, and I haven't been for a while, but then all of a sudden I realised I'm doing that, I'm heading in that direction, and it's only going to get worse, and I think it would have got worse. I think I would have continued to put on weight. I think I'd have just accepted it as, part of life, and quite possibly would have led to, worst case scenario, a shorter lifespan, to be honest. I think the problem wasn't necessarily getting started, it was sticking to it. That was my major problem. There were various programs that I could have started. I just didn't have the ability to stick with them. So I became frustrated with them very quickly, frustrated with myself. And I think what I realised was that I wasn't able to talk to anybody during this process. So I could sign up to an app, for example, and follow that. But if I failed to do it on a day, I didn't have to sort of speak to anybody. I didn't have to refer to anybody. Didn't have to answer to anybody. So there was no motivation. If I felt like I didn't want to do it one day, all of a sudden I haven't done it for a week. Well, who am I answering to apart from myself? I think it started off one way. Halfway through, I realised that actually some of the things that I was doing wasn't what I started out to do. And by the end of it, I think that the last thing I said to Mike before we sort of finished our sessions was, it's felt like I've got a mate who's just given me a kick up the arse every day, but in a way that doesn't make me feel like I'm under pressure, doesn't make me feel like I'm being told what to do, just pushing me to keep sort of thinking in the way I'm thinking. So what started out as a weight loss program for me, the actual weight loss by the end of the program wasn't even the primary factor. It was just the actual whole mindset change, the way that I was thinking, the things that I was doing just sort of, not even consciously, and the things that I do now without even thinking about it. It's been a complete mindset change, basically. So weighing myself this morning, I've lost 18 pounds over the course of the sessions that we had. Clothes fit better. I'm running much better times on my sort of weekly park runs, and in general I feel a lot better. I feel more positive, happier, more active. I've had life happen in between these sessions, so it's not just been 16 weeks, we're going to get this all done, no problems at all, and then 16 weeks later everything's fixed. It hasn't been like that. I've had COVID in between. I've had sort of personal stuff that's sort of hit me quite hard. I think the initial aim was the weight loss. That was achieved, but became a sort of sideline, to be honest with you. It wasn't the important part. The favourite part, the best part for me is, like I say, I've come out of this and there's tangible results there. It's everything that comes with it. As I say, the weight loss has become secondary. I feel massively better, and I know the systems, the sorts of processes now that I've introduced are there to stay. This isn't sort of going to be I'll have a pizza tomorrow and the whole thing's ruined. If I have a pizza tomorrow, I'm sort of in a mindset now where I can deal with that. And that's the big thing about the way Mike's run the course. I've not felt at any point like I'm missing anything. I've not felt like I'm waking up every morning starving. I'm not feeling like I've lacked energy. If anything, I've got a lot more energy now. And I'm wanting to go out and do a lot more exercise. I think anything where I feel like I've been deprived something, again, wouldn't have worked. I think all the way through, I think since the initial session with Mike, I knew that working with him was going to work. But it wasn't until, I'd say, probably midpoint through where I realised that this isn't just about weight loss. This isn't, I'm thinking now completely differently. And there was a point after I came back from my sort of break. I think we had a 3-week break, which again, Mike was very accommodating to sort of change his dates around for me. I'd actually lost weight in a period where I wasn't even thinking about losing weight. I wasn't even concentrating on it. And Mike's response was, oh, look, so you've lost weight without even thinking about it, which is what we're aiming for. And that's where I thought, you know what, he's right. I don't need to concentrate on doing this. I just need to maintain a certain sort of way of thinking, and it will do it itself. I don't have to worry about it. I'm not thinking about it every minute of every day. I'm not having to sort of sacrifice any part of my life to think, well, I've got to concentrate on this, otherwise I'm not going to have that, the body I want, or I'm not going to lose the weight. It's more now I'm just happier in myself. Just very real, to be honest with you. And I think that was the thing I was looking for. I didn't want someone who was, going to be coming on every session we had and was all sunshine and roses, or the other side, very sort of dictatorial. I don't think either of those would have worked for me. But with Mike, it was like I was going on just having a chat, like I say, just having a chat with a mate, but a mate who was very knowledgeable in the subject area. Mike's very, very easy to talk to. I enjoyed the sessions. There was never a time where I felt that Mike was judging or, ever disappointed. Even if I come to a session, it's like, you know what, Mike, I know you asked me to do this, but I haven't done it. But at the same time, it wasn't as though he let me off easy. He really has had a major impact on my life, essentially. And just an honest, good guy. I think that's the ultimate thing I'm taking away from this. There are people out there who genuinely want to see you do well. Whilst it's his business, I've felt all the way through like actually he's got my best interests in mind. He takes the time out that he doesn't necessarily need to. He could have done a lot less and I'd have still been happy. Just want to make sure he appreciates it. He's done a cracking job and I am a better person for him. Absolutely, yeah, I really am. And again, I mention my partner a lot in this because she was the original motivator for me. She's amazed herself at how different. We're talking the course of, I think we started the sessions in December. It's now only April, and she said you're just a completely different person.